welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, well, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, so today's video, guys, this is another Dollar General DIYs video. I absolutely love these, and it seems like you guys enjoy these as well. If you do, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family, and I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. Plus, hit that notification bell so that you will know each time I upload a new video. Well, I guess that's it. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so for this first one, I have got two of these self-adhesive wall tiles. These came from the Dollar General. They were $1 a piece, and they are 12 inches. I also have two 12-inch canvases that I picked up at Five Below. Now, the first thing we're going to do is go through and remove the canvas from the frame. I just use a box cutter to cut my canvas and then simply pull it off. Super simple. I'm going to be using some antique wax in order to paint my frames. Now, I did this super simple, literally just painted it on and then wiped it back off with a baby wipe. Sorry if you can hear the dogs in the background. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I did get them a little lighter than I wanted, so I added a little bit more antique wax and just left it. I'm going to be using some plaster color chalk paint by Waverly, and we're going to use that to paint these tiles. Y'all, these turn out so much better than I thought they were going to. I mean, I really was unsure when starting this project, but I thought, I just know that I can do this, man. I saw these somewhere, either maybe Home Goods or one of those websites, and they were just so pretty, and I was like, gosh, that's so simple. Like, I know that you can get those wall tiles at even Dollar Tree, for heaven's sakes. So anyways, I gave these two really, really good coats of the plaster chalk paint, and then we're going to go in with the antique wax. So I just got some on my brush and went to painting, honey. I literally painted this all over with this antique wax. And I was putting it on there pretty thick. Considering the fact that we're going to wipe it back off, I was putting it on rather heavy because I really wanted this to get down in every little nook and cranny that this design had. And boy, did it. Check this out. Y'all, I mean, literally, like, right before your eyes, this is coming together. I love these wall tiles. I am definitely going back for more. I would like to do them in a couple different, like, color schemes, and just, I think they are so perfect for projects like this. So I did the same thing to the other one, just put my antique wax on, wiped it back off. Added a little more antique wax, wiped it back off. I just continued that process until I had these just like I wanted them. So personal preference, you could leave more antique wax on, you could wipe more off, whatever you want to do. But I just did it until I got them like I wanted them. And then I'm going to take my brush that had that plaster on it and go right back over the top of this, just to kind of highlight some of the raised areas. So see, just very little I went over it with that plaster again. And like I said, that was just to kind of highlight some of the raised areas and put a little bit more of that plaster back into it. Now, super simple. We're going to take this electric stapler that I got on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description box for it because it is awesome, number one. But we're just going to use that to staple these back to the frame. So simple. There is literally nothing to this DIY, guys. Just stapled them back on. Super duper simple. You could even hot glue the frame to the tile if you needed to. I laid them out on my cutting mat once I had them stapled on, and then just simply cut off any of the excess that was around the edges. Super duper simple. And that's all I did for these, and I stinking love them. Oh my gosh, I love these so much. Okay, for this next one, I have got this tray that I picked up at the Dollar General. I paid $3 for it. It had a purple dot, so I got it for half off. I've also got a piece of the peel and stick wallpaper from the Dollar Tree. Now, the first thing I did was just pop the bottom out of this tray. I could tell when I was holding it that it wasn't really in there real good, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to pop it out and put it back together. So that's what I did. I was able to peel off the paper that was actually on it as well. I took a box cutter to just kind of get off any excess of that paper that was around the edge of the inside of the tray. I just used that to scrape it off. And then I used a screwdriver, of all things, to scrape off the rest of the paper. It was just handy, guys. It was right there. Now, I took that wallpaper and laid it right over the top of the bottom of my tray. Now, I tried to get the center line in that wallpaper in the center of my tray as well. While I was doing that, I used my box cutter to cut off the excess, and check it out, it was perfect. Now, when I went to push it back in, I was just kind of playing with it, like trying to figure out how I was going to get it back in there. It's got little bitty brad nails. So I just pulled the little brad nails out. I thought, I'm just going to start over with this. I'll pull these brad nails out, and then I'm going to actually hot glue the bottom of this back in. I don't plan on using this tray literally, like to carry drinks or, you know, have anything heavy on it or anything like that. I'm using this tray for decor, so I wasn't worried about the bottom of it only being hot glued in, if that makes sense. So I just glued that back in, and then check out this new cotton twine that I found at the Dollar Tree, y'all. I was so excited. It's almost like macrame cord, I think. I think it is kind of similar to macrame cord. Now, I don't know a lot about macrame, so don't quote me on that. But it looks a lot like it, and I love it. I like the white nautical rope anyways, so when I found this white looking twine, I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So I decided to wrap the handles with this cotton twine. Super simple, and that was it. I love this. For this one, I have two of these little shelf sitters. They were $1.50 a piece. They have that purple dot, so I got these for half off as well at the Dollar General. And then I have got some stickers and some rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is take some white chalk paint from Waverly, and I'm going to paint right over the top of these little shelf sitters. Now, I watered down my chalk paint because it was super, super thick. It was like at the bottom of the bottle. So anyways, I did have to go over this several times. I think it was about 4 coats before I finally got it completely covered. But like I said, that's only because I had actually watered down my paint prior to painting this. But, you know, painting's like therapy for me. So, hey, I took some washi tape and taped off a couple lines. I wanted to do this kind of like the ticking stripe. I think that's how you say it. So what I did was take a little pouncer from the Dollar Tree, and I just kind of tapped it, like tap, 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 very lightly until I could build my paint color up, if that makes sense. You just want to tap it lightly until it kind of builds up, and then peel off your washi tape and show that perfect crisp line. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the other one, except I'm going to do 3 lines this time. I just wanted it to be just a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like I wanted them to kind of match, but not be exactly the same. So I did tape off 3 little lines, and then I just went to tapping again. Tap, 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 tap. You just want to do it lightly up and down so that you don't get any bleed lines. And this works out very, very well. Peeled off my washi tape and check it out. I love, love, love these. Now, I took these stickers, and if you know me at all, you know that I do devotionals on this channel as well. And one of my very favorite Bible verses ever is "Be still and know that I am God." So this sticker was just perfect for me. I absolutely love it. I added some hot glue to the back of it and just placed it in the center of my little shelf sitter. Now I'm gonna take these rub-on transfers that I got from the Dollar Tree. How stinking cute are these? I love the one that said "Simply Blessed," and then also I'm gonna cut out this little I believe it's like an olive branch. I don't really know, but just this little bit of greenery, and just kind of play with it. I just kind of moved it around a couple times, trying to figure out, you know, exactly where I wanted them before you peel off the back and place it. Peeled off the back, placed it down, and then held it firmly in place. Listen to me very carefully. When you're using these rub-on transfers, you want to hold them in place very firmly, because if it slips the slightest bit, it is going to mess up your transfer. And I actually did do that. One little spot got messed up, but that's okay. No big deal. It's just crafting. So I did have one little spot that ended up messing up, but once you've got it completely rubbed on, see there, that one little spot. But anyways, once you've got it completely rubbed on, you just peel your plastic off, and there you have it. I did place the greenery up the top corner of this, used my little spatula deal from the Dollar Tree to rub this on. But like I said, I held it into place really, really well so that it did not move around on me. And these are so easy to use. You just have to be patient. You really have to have patience with them, and just rub it slow, but make sure that you rub it in good. How stinking cute are these? Seriously. Alrighty, this next one is so simple. So I picked this up at the Dollar General for $1, literally $1. Look at the seriously sad looking piece of greenery that they have on this blessed. Anyways, this wood palette I got, this is a DIY wood palette, something new that the Dollar General's got, and that was $3. So the first thing I did was just remove the hanger from the back of the sign. I also removed this staple that was just randomly on there. It looked awful. Anyways, I took some greenery that I had gotten from Walmart, and also some of the little bitty wildflowers that come from the Dollar Tree, and I used those to actually fill in the side of this, just to give it a little bit of oomph, because I'm telling you, that one piece of greenery was just really sad looking. So I just hot glued these to the side of this little sign. Super duper simple. Just kind of arranged it, added some hot glue, and then just placed them wherever I thought it needed to go. So super duper simple. We are then going to take our little sign that we've made now and our DIY palette. Look at that sign. Does that not look so much better? I mean, just a couple of pieces of greenery and some flowers, y'all. That's all I did to it. Added some hot glue to the back of our little sign, and we're going to place that directly in the center of this DIY palette. So stinking simple, guys. Now, I did tie a little shoestring bow out of some ribbon that I had, and added that to the bottom. Now I had one little stem sticking out, and I thought, you know what, I'll just make a little bow. I dovetailed the ends and hot glued it right to the bottom of this. So stinking cute, guys. So stinking cute. And this was so simple. This cost $4. How cute. For this next one, which is my absolute favorite from this entire video, I have this tray that I picked up at the Dollar General, and then I also have this beautiful rose gold cross that I found recently at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take some plaster chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to paint the inside bottom of this tray. So literally just the bottom. I was very, very careful, made sure not to get it on the sides, which this is obviously sped up for video purposes, but I just went really slow, took my time, and painted this. No need to tape it off or anything like that. I just took my time and painted the inside of this. Now, we're going to take that. Doesn't it look, it just looks better. I think it's going to make that cross really pop. So I'm going to place the cross in the bottom of this. And then I've got this dried dahlia. They come on a big long stem like this from Walmart. They're beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I've got some just greenery eucalyptus that I got from Walmart as well. I'm using some of this all-purpose cement along with some hot glue to glue this to my tray. Now, I wanted this to stay because this will be going in my kitchen in my new house. So I really wanted this to stay together. That's why I opted to use the all-purpose glue along with the hot glue. Now, I did wipe it off with a baby wipe because I got fingerprints all over it. But anyways, I then took my dried dahlia, just the bloom of it. I snipped it off flat and then added hot glue and glued that to the corner of this little tray. I'm then going to add some glue to the sides. That way I can add in my greenery stems. And I just kind of played with this as far as the greenery. I just kind of played with it until I got it just like I wanted it. So I would add in a stem or two, kind of step back, look at it, add in a little bit more, you know, that kind of thing. I just kept going with it until I got it exactly the way that I wanted it. So stinking cute. Guys, I love this. Love this. That rose gold and then the dried dahlia is just stunning together. Absolutely stunning together. I'm telling you, the pictures and video do not do this justice. It is gorgeous. Okay, this next one, you may recognize the little pictures that have the chicken wire in them. They used to have a cow, a pig, and a chicken on them, and I took those off and used them on a different DIY. But these were $1 a piece at the Dollar General, and I just saved these because I knew eventually I would come up with something for them. So I've got 3 of these, and then I've also got a metal welcome word from the Dollar Tree. Now the first thing I did was just take the wire hanger off the back of this, and I had one of them that the chicken wire was no longer like tacked down on, so I did have to kind of pull at it, and we're going to fix that here in just a minute. So I thought first I would just staple it back together. I mean, why not? That's the way it was. So I stapled it and literally stapled it into my table. The staple went all the way through it, y'all. So anyways, what I decided to do, see there how it's like bending up? So what I ended up deciding to do was add some hot glue to just right down along that. I pulled the wire first, made sure to get it all pulled just as even as I could get it. And then I'm just going to add some hot glue and then add a craft stick right over the top of that, and that's going to hold it perfectly. And that craft stick is literally exactly the same size as the side of this, like the frame of this. So you can't tell that the craft stick's there when you flip it back around the other way, if that makes sense. I'm then going to start adding these together. So what I did was just add some hot glue right in between them and add a craft stick. Super simple and definitely the easiest way to connect these. Just added my hot glue and then add in another craft stick. Super duper simple. Now that I have them completely together, see, it's all together and it's pretty sturdy actually. I'm going to take this Deco Art chalky finish in lace and we're going to paint the top of this. Now, I got this paint at Hobby Lobby. And I thought it would be good because it was Deco Art. But y'all, it's not. I literally gave this probably 3 coats before I finally gave up and swapped to this ceramic coat that I got for $1.47 at Hobby Lobby. And I ended up painting it with that. Y'all, this ceramic coat, I've never used this brand until I found it on clearance, like I said. But it is some good paint. And I actually like the color of this better than I did the lace because it just wasn't as much off-white as what I was wanting. So I used my heat gun to dry it. And then I went back over just the chicken wire part with that lace because I wanted it to be a little bit lighter than the frame. I then take a sanding sponge and I sand this down all over just to get it good and distressed looking. Just make it look a little older. Super, super simple, but I just sanded it all over. Then we're going to take our welcome. See, it looks perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, we're going to take our welcome word, and y'all, they are paper thin. Do you hear me? It is paper thin, but hey, it'll work. It was only $1. So I'm going to attach this to the chicken wire. And at first I was going to hot glue it. And then I thought, no, it's got little holes like at the end of the word, at the beginning and the end of the word. So zip ties, why not? So that's what I did. I just simply placed my zip tie through the hole on the word, attached it around one of the pieces of the chicken wire, pulled it through the back, and then tightened up my zip tie. Super, super simple. And definitely the best way to attach this because now I don't have to worry about, you know, if I put it on the front door, it's getting too hot, the hot glue will get too hot or anything like that. Now I know for sure that this word is attached and not going anywhere. Now on the end of the word, I just had a little piece of metal laying around or a piece of wire. And so I just wired it on and then snipped it off. And then I also snipped off the end of the zip tie. I did add just a little dab of hot glue just to hold that L in place. Now, I've got this greenery. This was like a lamb's ear garland is actually what it is from Walmart. And I decided I was going to attach it to the bottom of this just to add in some greenery, just give it that last little touch of maybe farmhouse, you know, shabby chic, whatever. But I just attached that greenery with the zip ties as well. I just feel like the zip ties were the perfect choice for this project, because now I don't have to worry about it. I know that it's very well put together. I know that my word and my greenery are not going anywhere. So I really love zip ties for projects like this. But guys, that's all I did to this. And I think it is absolutely the cutest dang thing. I love it. So for this one, I have got a set of plastic spoon and fork. There's like oversized from the Dollar General, and also a charger plate from the Dollar Tree. Now, I knew that I wanted to do this, but I just couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted to do it. So I left in this audio. Oh, yes. Okay, great. Isn't it funny how in crafting we, can think of things that we want to do, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yes, exactly. That's exactly how I want to do it. So I just thought that was funny, and I would leave that in for y'all. I'm going to be using some white chalk paint on my plate. I completely covered it with the white, dried it with my heat gun, gave it 2 really, really good coats of that, and then painted it with the antique wax, wiped it back off with a baby wipe, and set it to the side. I then started on the fork and the spoon. So all I did was sponge on some gray, silver, and then a burnt sienna color to make this look like it was old and rusted. Those were Arteza paints that I used on these, and y'all, Arteza paints are just fantastic. I actually do not have an affiliate link with them anymore, but they are fantastic paints. Now, I decided to take this Farmhouse rub-on transfer, and I'm going to use it at the top of my plate. I cut it out and then took my fork and my spoon and just began to kind of play around with the placement of everything. Now, the way I had it placed, I thought, this would look better if it had a little bit of greenery, maybe some flowers, whatever. So that's what I decided to do. I took this twine that I picked up at the Dollar General, and might I add, this is some very nice twine that the Dollar General has now. A little bit of greenery and a few of those wildflowers from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is just hot glue them first to my spoon and my fork. Kind of let that set for a minute, add a little bit more hot glue, and then we're actually going to wrap the bottom of the stems with the twine. So while that hot glue was wet, I went ahead, or still hot, I went ahead and added in my twine, held it into place for just a second, and then wrapped this. Now I just wrapped it down just as far as I wanted it, just to look nice, just like an extra little detail. And then I just snipped it off in the back, secured it with a little bit of hot glue, and now that one's ready. I did the same exact process for the fork, same thing, added my florals, then added a little bit of hot glue and added in my twine. Wrapped it down till I got it where I wanted it, and then we're good to go. All right, now the flowers were a little too pink for me. It kind of had like that fuchsia pink in it. So what I decided to do was tone that down a little bit with some white chalk paint, just some watered down white chalk paint. It's totally simple. There are lots of different ways that you can make kind of fake flowers that don't look so real or look really, really fake. You can always mix it up and paint those in order to make them look better. And that's what I did here. I literally just painted on a little bit of the chalk paint. I would take my fingers and kind of rub it into the flower. But y'all, it made a huge difference in the way that they looked. I'm then going to hot glue these directly to my plate, Super simple. And guys, if you don't know, we're in the process of building our first home, and my kitchen, like my color scheme for the kitchen is a very light pink. So I thought this would look so cute in my new kitchen. I cannot wait to put it up. I added in that rub-on transfer to the top of this plate. And even though this plate was textured, because if you'll remember, it's got that like wood grain texture. Even though it was textured, this rub-on transfer still worked perfectly. So just know that you can use the rub-on transfers on a textured surface, but you've got to hold them in place very firmly. Just remember that part while you rub them in. But I just rubbed this transfer on. I then peeled off the top layer, and how stinking cute is this plate? Ah, I love it. Now, I did decide to take one of these new beaded garlands that I got on the Crafter Square at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to add that to the back of this to use as a hanger. I thought it was that last little detail that this really needed, and I stinking love it. All right, y'all, last but not least, I have got a wall hanging craft board that I picked up at the Dollar General. Now, I believe this was $5, I think. It just says wall hanging craft board. Anyways, it looks like it kind of like a pallet sign. Now, I'm going to take this calendar page from one of the Dollar Tree calendars. I don't remember what year this actually was, but it's not this year's calendars. I believe it is last year's or the years before, actually. These calendars were sent to me. Anyways, I'm just going to go around the edge of this page and rip it up. I just want it to look weathered, aged, you know, whatever. So I'm just going to go through and tear at the sides. I then took a little bit of antique wax on a baby wipe, and I literally just went around right around the edge of this piece of paper. I just wanted it to look kind of aged. That way, when we put it on the board, you know, it just kind of all, I don't know, it just grooved better together to me or something. I don't know. But we're not actually going to do anything to the board. I liked the natural wood look with those pink flowers. And we're going to be taking some of this Aleene's Tacky Glue. I've watered it down. It's just like Mod Podge, if not better. I personally would rather use this than Mod Podge. It's cheaper to me. It goes way further, and I just really like Aleene's Tacky Glue though. So anyways, I added that to my board. Totally forgot to take the sticker off until I got to the bottom, but anyways, left that part in there for y'all. And then just stuck my calendar page to the board. I smoothed it out the best that I could. Now, typically I wouldn't go back over the top of this, and that's where you're going to keep from getting so much of that like wrinkly look, but I wanted the wrinkly look to this. So I did add a little bit of that Aleene's across the top of it and then just kind of smooth it out with my fingers. I took a box cutter and cut right down where there were actual like slats in this board. They weren't cut all the way through, but there was, you know, an indentation there. So I just took my box cutter and went right down the edge of that, and then took my paintbrush and kind of pushed the paper down in those slats so that it would look like individual pieces, if that makes sense. Surely you guys can see what I'm doing here, but anyways, I just thought with everything that's been going on, this calendar page, Keep On Fighting, was just so fitting for me right now, and this will be perfect in our new house or in my craft shed, my she shed. I took the back of an old picture frame where I had probably used the glass or the frame or something, and I just glued that to the back of this. And y'all, I love this just like it is. I think it is so super simple, but yet super duper super cute. All right, y'all, that is it for today. I have had such a great time putting these Dollar General DIYs together for y'all. I absolutely love going in the store, trying to see what I can find that I know I can bring home and redo and create something totally awesome for y'all. This is just a lot of fun. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family and subscribe. That would be awesome. Plus, hit that notification bell so that you will know each time I upload a new video. Thank you all so much for being with me today, and y'all have a blessed day.